Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, let us rise and stand ready to extend our warmest welcome as the ASEAN leaders and spouses make their entrance. The ASEAN Anthem. Please be seated. Your Majesty, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening ceremony of the 43rd ASEAN Summit and related summits. Let us immerse ourselves in this wonderful display of ASEAN unity, reminding us that together we stand as the epicentrum of growth.
Welcome to the hub for sustainable and inclusive growth of ASEAN. The dynamic region, taking each step with purpose and drive, working hand in hand, constantly evolving, keep moving and accelerating.
In the heart of the East, across each nation's land, as ASEAN Listen to the message in a world divided. We are stronger together. We'll reach new heights. Let us foster our own global epicentrum of growth as the sea and reborn. Our hearts beat with us one. We've just begun. Let's spread our wings and fly. We're going in here, oh, can't you see? We'll bring our destiny in symphony. Together we conquer the mountain. Set aside our fears and touch the sky. Epicentrum of growth.
Let's offer our cheerful hellos. Brunei,
Selamat pagi.
Cambodia,
Arom Swaste.
Lao People's Democratic Republic,
Sebani Tonsao.
Malaysia,
Apa kabar?
Myanmar,
Ni Kaula,
Philippines,
Kamusta?
Singapore,
Hello.
Thailand,
Sawadee-krap!
Vietnam,
Xin chào.
Timor-Leste,
Hola.
Indonesia.
Halo.
Selamat datang di Indonesia.
Hands held tight, we'll shine a light. Hand in hand, we'll reach new heights. Let us foster our own global epicentrum of growth as the sea and reborn.
Welcome to Indonesia. Our unity shines. We celebrate cultures in every line. From mountains to oceans, under skies so blue. Come dance with us as we welcome you.
Our hearts beat with us one. We've just begun. Let's spread our wings and fly. We're going in here, oh, can't you see? We'll create our destiny in symphony. Together we conquer the mountain. Set aside our fears and touch the sky. Our hearts beat with us one. We've just begun. Let's spread our wings and fly. We're going in here, oh, can't you see? We'll create our destiny in symphony. Together we conquer the mountain. Set aside our fears and touch the sky. Our hearts beat us, just begun. Let's spread our wings and fly. We're going in here, oh, can't you see? We'll create our destiny in symphony. Together we conquer the mountain. Set aside our fears and touch the sky. Epicentrum of growth. Epicentrum of growth. Epicentrum of growth. Epicentrum of growth. Epicentrum of
Your Majesty, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you enjoyed the special performance from the champion of the World Choir Games 2023, Gita Bhumi Voices, whose members radiate the bright future of our young talents. Let the performance inspire us to continue our commitment to ASEAN unity, standing as the epicentrum of growth. Now, allow us to invite the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Your Excellency, Mr. Joko Widodo, to come to the stage to convey the opening remarks.
Sri Baginda, Yang Mulia, para pemimpin ASEAN, para pemimpin yang saya hormati, Ketua dan Pimpinan Lembaga Tinggi Negara, hadirin Ibu Bapak yang saya hormati. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi. Selamat datang di Jakarta pada acara KTT ke-43 ASEAN. Saya dan seluruh rakyat Indonesia sangat senang menyambut kehadiran keluarga besar ASEAN. Saya yakin tidak hanya Indonesia, tapi seluruh negara anggota ASEAN memiliki rasa kebanggaan yang sama, memiliki rasa kecintaan yang sama terhadap keluarga yang kita beri nama ASEAN. Memang, akhir-akhir ini saya sering mendengar pertanyaan publik terkait ASEAN, yaitu apakah ASEAN akan terpecah dan tidak bisa bersatu? Apakah kapal ASEAN
ASEAN ship
terus melaju?
be able to continue to sail?
Yang Mulia, pada
Excellencies,
momentum yang baik ini,
on this August momentum,
sebagai anggota
as
keluarga
a member
dan
of
sebagai
the ASEAN family and as chair of ASEAN, I would like to underscore that ASEAN unity until this day remains well. Unity must not be defined as the absence of differing opinions. As a country that has diverse ethnicities, cultures, languages, and religions, for Indonesia, unity means harmony despite the differences, including differences in opinion. Because differences in opinion, in fact, nurtures democracy. It shows that we as a family are on equal footing. This equality, I observe, has become a rare thing in the world. Rampant injustice and conflict continue to occur due to the absence of equality. But in ASEAN, things are different. Equality, in fact, is the primary value that we respect and uphold together in the framework of unity and togetherness, so that the big ship of ASEAN can continue to sail. We are aware that not everything is well with the world. Future challenges are becoming increasingly difficult and causing a struggle of influence between major powers. Nevertheless, ASEAN has agreed to reject being a proxy for any power, to work together with everyone for peace and prosperity. Do not turn our ship, ASEAN, into an arena for rivalries that cause mutual destruction. Instead, transform this ASEAN ship as a field to nurture cooperation, to achieve prosperity, to achieve stability, and to achieve peace. Not only for our region, but also for the world. Excellencies, the world's oceans are too wide to be sailed alone. In our journey, there will be other ships, the ships of ASEAN partners, let us work together to cooperate on an equal footing and benefit one another, to sail together towards the epicentrum of growth. And by saying Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I hereby declare the 43rd ASEAN Summit and other related summits to be officially opened. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Your Excellency. We kindly ask you to remain on the stage. Your Majesty, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, before proceeding further into the ceremony, we would like to kindly invite all ASEAN leaders to come to the stage for a group photo session. Allow me to count in 3, 2, 1. Now in the ASEAN way. In 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Your Majesty and Your Excellencies. We kindly request President Joko Widodo and all leaders to return to your respected seats. Let us also
Please be seated.
His Majesty, Excellencies, ASEAN leaders, welcome to the 43rd ASEAN Summit in Jakarta. I would like to welcome His Excellency Hun Manet, the Prime Minister of Cambodia, and His Excellency Sanana Gusmao, the Prime Minister of Timor-Leste. Welcome, Excellencies, to the big ASEAN family. Distinguished ASEAN leaders, we are all aware of the magnitude of current global challenges and where the main key to address them is ASEAN's unity and centrality. ASEAN's objective is clear: to become an epicenter of growth. ASEAN has tremendous assets to achieve this objective, but ASEAN must be able to work harder, become more solid, bolder, and more agile. Additionally, ASEAN also requires a long-term tactical plan that is relevant and in line with the hopes of the people, not only for the next 5 years, but for the next 20 years until 2045. And I appreciate the support of ASEAN member states in the discussions of the ASEAN Concord 4. Excellencies, ASEAN, as a part of the Indo-Pacific region, is also consistently working both through an inclusive approach, through the cooperation between the ASEAN Secretariat with the PIF and the Indian Ocean Rim Association Secretariats, IORA, as well as through the economic and development approach through the ASEAN Indo-Pacific Forum, to enable ASEAN to bring beneficial impacts for its people and also for the world. ASEAN, as a large ship, also has a major responsibility towards the hundreds of millions of people who are sailing together on it. And despite having to sail through a storm, we as ASEAN leaders must ensure that this ship can continue to sail and that we have to be captains of our own ship to achieve peace, to achieve stability, to achieve prosperity together. And with this, I declare the 43rd ASEAN plenary session open. Next, before we begin the closed plenary session, I respectfully invite media personnel to vacate the meeting room. Thank you.
Dari Baginda
His Majesty, Excellencies, ASEAN leaders, I declare the retreat session is open. The two issues of focus today, namely review of the implementation of the 5 PCs and implementation of the ASEAN Outlook on the Indo-Pacific.
terkait implementasi
On the implementation of the 5-point consensus, we must remember that the 5 PCs is ASEAN's collective effort as family, agreed by ASEAN leaders in Jakarta on 24th of April 2021. And 5-point consensus will remain as ASEAN's main guidance.
Indonesia telah melakukan engagement
Indonesia have made engagements intensively, more than 145 engagements with 70 stakeholders, and taking place over the course of 9 months. And Indonesia has noticed the emergence of trust between one stakeholder with the others, except with the military junta. And it is time for ASEAN to encourage an inclusive national dialogue as the key for conflict resolution that is Myanmar-owned and Myanmar-led.
bantuan kemanusiaan
In addition, ASEAN humanitarian assistance continues to be distributed by AHA Center, but the necessary process is indeed still far from over. On that note, for the interests of ASEAN family, we must be bold to do self-evaluation, discuss problems openly, and find solution together. We need more tactical and extraordinary efforts for the implementation of the 5-point consensus. And regarding the Indo-Pacific cooperation, ASEAN Indo-Pacific Forum as a concrete form of ASEAN Outlook on the Indo-Pacific has attracted significant interest from government and private sectors. And I hope the continuing implementation of AOIP can be maintained. Now we will proceed to the closed session, and I respectfully request members of the press to exit the room. Thank you.
Let's offer our cheerful hellos. Brunei,
Selamat pagi.
Cambodia,
Aron Swaste.
Lao People's Democratic Republic,
Sebadi Tansao.
Malaysia,
Apa kabar?
Myanmar,
Ni kau lah.
Philippines,
Kamusta?
Singapore,
Hello.
Thailand,
Sawadikap.
Vietnam,
Xin chào.
Timor-Leste,
Hola.
Indonesia. Halo, selamat datang di Indonesia.
We must continue to prepare our people, especially the marginalized and the vulnerable, such as the women and the persons with disabilities in business, for the digital future. The citizens of Asia should reskill and upskill to maintain their leading roles in our economies. As a voluntary lead shepherd for the cooperation against trafficking in persons, the Philippines will continue to call for more concerted efforts in intensifying regional and international cooperation, especially in mobilizing resources to prevent and combat the abuse of technology in TIP. We look forward to operationalizing the ASEAN Leaders' Declaration on Combating Trafficking in Persons caused by the abuse of technology.
Sinabi niya kanina po sa ating plenary sessions ng ASEAN at napakaganda kasi yun po talaga ang hangarin natin lahat mismo sa Kongreso ay protektahan talaga ang mga migrant workers, yung mga OFWs. Kaya sa ngayon may mga batas kagaya ng mga we have special hospitals for OFWs at saka ano ba mga protections na maibigay natin sa kanila. Lalo na sa pagbabantay at sa magre-regulate dyan sa mga manning agencies para maayos yung proseso sa bago sila makapunta sa abroad, maganda yung training at saka maganda yung preparasyon. So nakakaisa. Yun talaga ang puntos ng ating ASEAN na nakakaisa yung buong region. That's what they talk about, the ASEAN centrality. Lahat na nating ASEAN nakakaisa. Using the ASEAN as a platform para magpo-project sa labas, outside of the region, yung mga interest kagaya ng welfare ng ating mga migrant workers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Your Majesty, Excellencies. We gather today at a critical juncture in the history of our region. The global landscape is witnessing unprecedented shifts, from the escalation of regional security threats to the transformation of the global economy. As one community, our collective well-being hinges upon our ability to respond to the changing paradigm of our times in a timely and effective manner. In these times of uncertainty, ASEAN should matter more than ever. The significance of ASEAN on the global stage can only be sustained so long as we can demonstrate to the rest of the world that ASEAN continues to be a force for positive change. The first step in that positive change is the promotion and the maintenance of peace. Because as we speak for progress, that progress must be built on a strong foundation of peace. And so let us look at the threats to peace in our region. One test of our relevance is our ability to facilitate a peaceful resolution in Myanmar. We remain firm that the resolution to the Myanmar crisis should be Myanmar-owned and Myanmar-led. We continue to support the efforts of the ASEAN Chair to engage all stakeholders in Myanmar. We reiterate that all efforts in Myanmar should be in line with a 5-point consensus and done in coordination with the Chair of ASEAN. Your Majesty, Excellencies, our vision for the South China Sea is a sea of peace, stability, and prosperity. Today, sadly, this remains a distant reality. For our part, the Philippines will continue to work with all the countries to foster a rules-based international order. We remain committed to the peaceful resolution of disputes in the South China Sea in accordance with international law. We will continue to uphold and exercise freedom of navigation and overflight in the South China Sea in accordance with international law, including, of course, the 1982 UNCLOS. But let me be clear. We do not seek conflict, but it is our duty as citizens and as leaders to always rise to meet any challenge to our sovereignty, to our sovereign rights, and our maritime jurisdictions in the South China Sea. No country would expect any less. No country would do any less. The Philippines firmly rejects misleading narratives that frame the disputes in the South China Sea solely through the lens of strategic competition between two powerful countries. This not only denies us our independence and our agency, but it also disregards our own legitimate interests. We once more call upon all parties for self-restraint on activities that complicate disputes in the South China Sea. We must not undermine regional peace, stability, and security. We cannot emphasize enough that actions, not words, should be the ultimate measure of our commitment to securing peace and stability in the South China Sea. Anything else simply does not suffice. We therefore seek your support for the operationalization of practical measures such as the ADMM guidelines for maritime interaction, which we envision will be expanded to our external partners in due time. The Philippines is also pleased to have hosted the second ASEAN multilateral naval exercise off Zambales and Bataan, and the 40th meeting of the JWD-DOC in Manila to expedite the negotiations for a substantive and effective code of conduct in the South China Sea. As tensions and mistrust between the great powers escalate, so too does the prospect of miscalculation that threatens to engulf the region with the severest consequences for all of us. It is imperative that we leverage the ASEAN regional architecture to serve as a diplomatic bridge that promises mutual understanding, strategic trust, and peaceful settlement of disputes. History will ultimately judge whether the supremacy of the rule of law prevails, ushering in an era where all nations truly stand as equals, independent and unswayed by any single outside power. The challenge for us remains that we must never allow the international peaceful order to be subjected to the forces of might applied for a hegemonic ambition. The future of peace rests now on how we together face this challenge to that peace. Thank you and good afternoon.
No serbisyo analaka nga catering ti masapulyo, adda iti Caril's Garden Catering Services ang masarakan di Mabini Street, Barangay Rizal, Kabugaw, Illocos Sur. Adu pa iti agkakaimas nga makan ti inkay pagpilian. Ken saan lang kadayta, na ornos ti serbisyo da, napintas iti set up da. Ken saan yon a problema no kasapulan nyo iti venue. Oray anyaman nga okasyon ket mabaling nga rambakan kas iti kasar, birthday, anniversary, reunions, meeting, ken dumapay. Caril's Garden and Catering Services ti kapintasan ken kalakaan. Nadaras pa'y akasarita ti akin bagi ani Sir Carlito ken Maricar Asena. Wenno kontaken iti numero a 0917-799-1273. Wenno 0917-799-5110. Caril's Garden and Catering Services. Umay kayon!
Problema yu kadi iti panangalat ti student driving permit, renewal iti lisensya ng agmaneho, ken panang-upgrade iti restriction code dagiti lisensyayo. Solbaren dagiti nga problema yo iti RX Driving School. Ti RX Driving School ket accredited iti LTO ng eskwelaan amang ipaay kadagiti sumaganad. TDC wenno theoretical driving course. Kasapulan daytoy kadagiti mangalat ti student permit. PDC wenno practical driving course paramat kadagiti mangalat iti non-prop wenno professional driver's license. Upgrading iti restriction code paramat kadagiti mangnayon iti mabalinda a manehuen ken ti special driving course para mat kadikiti kayat na tagsursuro ng agmaneho ti motorsiklo, tricycle, four wheels, manual, or automatic ken da dumapay. Naanos ken nalaing dagiti driving instructors da nga accredited iti LTO. Dito'y 2nd District, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti National Highway, Barangay Tablak, Candon City, abay iti Sacred Heart Medical Laboratory. Dito'y mat 1st District, masarakan ti RX Driving School, abay mismo iti LTO. Dita poblasyon is San Ildefonso, Illocos. Ken dita probinsya ti Ilocos Norte, masarakan ti RX Driving School iti along the National Highway, Barangay Kalagip, Batak City, sango ti Lucondia Cultural Center ken Mariano Marcos Memorial Hospital. Asideg iti mismong LTO. No lisensya ti panagmaneho, ken nasaya ta pagsusuruan ngagmaneho, RX Driving School iti papanan. Para ti dadung informasyon, tumawag wenno ag-text kayo iti 0917-578-3132 and 0917-811-0581. Dito 1st District San Ildefonso, 0917-306-3735. Itamot 2nd District Candon City, 0917-120-1745. Ken dita Batak City, 0917-329-0591. RX Driving School.
Paapo ka di makay ayo abuya iti uneg iti pagtaingam. Anyama nagasapulam kas ti moderno a klase iti silaw kada dita ti chandelier, LED lights ken na dumapay. Kasabay karigiti agkakapintas at toilet bowl, wool claddings, stainless sa lababo, kasamit din na dumaduma ti klase na tiles ken na dumapay ang materyales at kasapulan ti pagbangon ti balay. Pasyaren ti AC Newborn Home and Builder Center. Nalawa ti showroom da, agkomportable kang agpili ti kayat mo a disenyo. Mabalin pa'y nga isuda iti magi-set up kadagiti katangin. Masarakan sa Rizal Street, Sulphur, Bantay, Illocos Sur. Imatmatunan na Mr. and Mrs. Alain Chan. Saanen ngagtaktak mapankan sa JAC Newborn Home and Builders Center.
Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives. Di kooperatiba ano bayagin nagsasarili kadang di Ilocano iti amyanan a Luzon. Di kooperatiba magpapaay ti serbisyo, benepisyo, ken mangisakit kariti empleyado ken miyembro na. Di Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives wano NSCC ket adon tinatulungan na. Babayin med iti namayat alangin-langin ken kooperasyon dagiti miyembro ken mangimatmaton. Adon tinagduruasan ti kooperatiba. Adupay dagiti naynayon ang kasdek akas ti NSCC Farm, Chicharon Processing Facility, Macro Laboratory, kastameten ti NSCC Plaza, ken NSCC Business Center. Isungan niya pelang ter orayem makikaptingkan iti kadakilan a kooperatiba iti probinsya. Di Nueva Segovia Consortium of Cooperatives suman na NSCC, imatmatunan na daytoy ni Dr. Divina Kenny.
Foods ba ang hanap mo? Kaya't mo tek mukbang ng basit ti budget. Kapangkan sa Books Eat Food Hub. Masarakan ti igit ti National Highway, Barangay Kabarwan, Bantay, Illocos Sur. Giseserve dati only wings, rice, lechon kawale, sisig kanda dumapay a pagpilian. In kayon ti Books Eat Food Hub. Matmatunan dito ni Miss Eileen Tolentino ken ni Miss Luenalo Manligues. And the food, ngem suwak sa bulsa. Anya pa ituro orayam, mapankan ti Books Eat Food Hub. Books Eat Food Hub, sigurado mabsog ta buksit mo. Nagbebero kay matinaimas nga pulutan wano dagiti maprito amakmakan. Saragam lang ti Choylin Fried Station. Masarakan ti na duma-duma pwesto ti probinsya nga Illocos Sur at dati ta syudad ti Vigan, Iliti Santo Domingo, Kabugao, Sinait, Narvacan, ken Candon City. At dapat pwestuda dita Abra ken pati Batak ken Lawag City, Illocos Norte. At doon dagiti mabili mo pagpilian. At dati fried chicken, crispy pata, fried itik, lechon kawali, tokwat baboy ken pork sisig. Choilin Fried Station. Fried to perfection. No kaya't mumati only rice ken only soup all you can, 3 mantas grill house lang sapat na. Ado dagiti pagbilyang nga combo meals nga sigurado aswak ti budget mo. Masarakan ti 3 mantas grill house sa Bayubay Sur, San Vicente, Illocos. What are you waiting for? Come and visit 3 mantas grill house today. Kung mahilig ka mat dagiti matuno makmakan, na tuno grill house lang ang iyong kailangan. They offering chicken inasal, pork barbecue, chicken barbecue, only rice pork inasal ken only chicken wings. Masarakan tinatuno grill house sa San Jose, Narbacan, Illocos.